Welcome to the Filoil Flying V Center, where hotshot point guard Jerry Pingoy Coco will be joining forces with his big man Papi Sar, and of course one of their prize recruits coming in from the Visayas. Will they be having a hot start tonight? Of course, they are led by multi-time champion coach Franz Pomarin. It all comes to a head when they go up against Larry Muyang and the Les of Colegio de San Juan de Letran have been tearing up the preseason. Will Larry Muyang be able to flex his muscles underneath? Bonquito joins him, the Dark Knight, always doing what is necessary. The Letran Knights go up against the Adamson Falcons here in the 12th Filoil Flying V Preseason Cup presented by Chooks to Go, and it is all here on ESPN5. Maraming salamat for joining us in our ESPN5 coverage. Ako po si James Velasquez, kasama si Juan Banal, and these two teams always play fast, furious, and fearless basketball. We are in for a treat today.
Definitely. So it's going to be a high-impact type of ball game. You've got both coaches bringing in their systems that they grew up with, the systems that they're used to, and that's exciting to see, especially it's a preseason tournament, and you've got all these hype and, you know, entering the main tournament that they have. We're really looking forward to this afternoon's game.
At titingnan natin ang team standing so far dito sa ating Preseason Cup. And here in Group B, makikita natin Far Eastern University still cream of the crop. Samantalang itong Adamson University making their debut here in the Preseason Cup. That's always dangerous for a team na tatapatan naman ang Colegio de San Juan de Letran at 2-1. Para dito sa Adamson, parang secret weapon pa eh. They are coming in with some new recruits. And of course, you expect yung kanilang mga veterano na may improvements sa kanilang laro. Pero kailangan natin pag-usapan one, of course, Letran's paint dominance in the previous game. Of course, when you have a player like Larry Muyang, when you have Balagasay, Pajarito, Ambohot anchoring your paint, you want them to do all the extra things, lalo na kung hindi nagkiklik yung shooting mo sa labas.
Definitely, they won by 4 points, but that 4 points was quite crucial and brought about by the 62 rebounds and 25 offensive rebounds that they had against LPU. And out of those rebounds, they were able to convert and score 22 second chance points compared to just the 8 of the LPU.
Yun mga tinatawag na hustle stats. Of course, any coach would love that one. Makakita ka ng second chance points, points off turnovers tulad ng alam natin sa Letran. Sa kabilang dako naman, itong Adamson University soaring Falcons. Of course, when you have a coach like Franz Pomarin, you know that this team is going to get up and run.
You have to understand, this team is not coming into this tournament fresh off the boat. They've actually played in the D-League and they did pretty well. Entering the Final Four, unfortunately, they lost there. But this team is quite solid. It's the third year of Coach Franz Pomarin, and after the two stints that they have entered the Final Four in the UAP. And so it's very exciting to see one that's already on their way to start winning championships, and on the other hand, you've got Letran that's actually starting to rebuild and gain its momentum back into that scene.
Pero kung pag-uusapan natin ang big stage experience para dito sa Adamson University soaring Falcons, ang pinakamalaking asset pa rin ng koponan na ito is the man at the helm, is Coach Franz Pomarin.
This guy is well decorated both as a player and as a coach, and anywhere he goes, he makes immediate impact. And that's what's exciting when the Adamson Falcons took on and called upon Coach Franz Pomarin to be part of their coaching staff and lead the whole school. It was an exciting new culture for the whole school, and the impact of Coach Franz Pomarin and his new coaching staff with him.
Of course, you have Don Aliado coaching the big men, tulad din na Sean Manganti. Renren Retualo has been so instrumental sa development ni Jerica Hanmisi, ni Coco Pingoy. Sa kabilang dako naman si Coach Jeff Napa. You know, he's a disciplined coach and he's bringing that no-nonsense approach sa kanyang Letran Knights. Magkakasubukan tayo sa gitna ng Filoil Flying V Center. Coming up next.
Filoil Flying V Center as we bring you the 12th Filoil Flying V Preseason Cup presented by Chooks to Go. And now let's make way for the starting lineups. First, the Adamson soaring Falcons. Starting at forward number 1, Sean Manganti. Starting at guard number 2, Jeric Ahanmisi. At point guard number 17, Jed Colonia. Center number 21, Papi Sar. Power forward number 29, Vince Magbuhos. The Soaring Falcons head coach is Franz Pumaren. Here comes the starting unit of the Leo de San Juan de Letran Knights. Coming in at center number 1, Larry Muyang. Starting at guard number 7, Jeric Balanza. At point guard number 8, JP Calvo. Power forward number 11, EJ Agbong. At the other forward number 19, Bong Quinto. Colegio de San Juan de Letran Knights is led by Jeff Napa. Our officials for this ball game are Francisco Olivar Jr., Alan Manzano, and Bernardo Balaya Jr.
Starting lineups for both teams, you have Sean Manganti, Jerry Kahanmisi, Papi Sar, Vince Magbuhos, and Jet Colonia for Adamson. While it's JP Calvo, Jeric Balanza, Larry Muyang, Bong Quinto, and EJ Agbong starting out for Letran. And of course, the generals at the sidelines, Coach Franz Pumaren, Coach Jeff Napa. Opening tip goes awry, it'll go to the other side. This gives us a chance para puntahan ang Banal's Commandments, which I like to call keys to victory for winning. Unahin natin one itong Colegio de San Juan de Letran.
For San Juan de Letran, I think the crucial part for them, the crucial way they have to play today is to move the ball a lot and stay aggressive. That's the way, that's how they won against LPU last game. They were aggressive on the boards, making sure that no free shots were taken, and especially if you're going up against a kind of system that Franz Pumaren has established here in Adamson.
JP Calvo gets the first one to trickle in and immediately pressing up in the full court. But knowing Adamson and knowing Coach Franz, they're well equipped to break the full court press.
And they're used to this. I'm sure every day they eat, breathe, and drink the press and breaking the press as well.
Oh, nice close-out defense there by Letran. Manganti, though, open, overcooks it. Offensive rebound and a putback is good.
That opportunity again, going back to the boards. Letran having to play against the bigger Adamson Falcons in terms of the front court, so they have to start boxing out and being at the right place at the right time and moving their feet.
Isa yan sa mga laging nababanggit tuwing naglalaro itong Adamson University. The length sa guards, sa wingmen. So it's not just Papi Sar giving you that size. Pero tinan mo, no fear para sa Letran attacking the paint.
And of course, if you're playing in the NCAA, it's a different brand of basketball, and these guys are used to banging bodies. And I am sure Papi Sar will have a long, long afternoon as he plays against not just one player of San Juan de Letran, but the rest of the team boxing out and making sure that they're keeping him at bay.
Larry Muyang, though, whistled for an offensive foul earlier, battling for the rebound. Turnover para din sa Adamson University. They have to be careful kontra din sa Colegio de San Juan de Letran when they turn the ball over.
And again, they're going to pay the price if they continue to play sloppy, and they're quite overconfident in the way they move the ball and how they're playing. So, you know, you just need a window for you actually to take advantage, and Letran is definitely there waiting for that opportunity.
Score knotted up 2 points apiece. Halos 2 minuto nakakaraan dito sa ating unang yugto. Muli, maraming salamat sa inyong pagtutok sa aming ESPN 5 coverage of the Filoil Preseason Cup. JP Calvo starting out had 2 shots in a row.
That was a one-on-one play, and Colonia there left with just one crossover by Calvo.
Adamson trying to attack quickly in transition. Manganti, though, denied. Para mananatili ang bola din sa Adamson University.
And you can see the brand of Coach Franz Pumaren coming into play now. Adamson Falcons is not resting, trying to attack the hoop as much as possible, trying to get their momentum from that kind of play.
Sean Manganti has had a couple of highlights in his collegiate career. You look forward to the growth of his game more than just an athletic finisher in transition, as this Smart Free Throw has been brought to you by Smart. Get free YouTube every day from Smart Sun and TNT.
This guy has long limbs. You can see how athletic, where he's getting his athleticism from.
Last touch, sabi nila dito kay Colonia, trying to pressure JP Calvo.
And what's crucial if you're breaking the press is that first and foremost, you don't panic. Go back to your press break play. Try not to do things on your own, and just make sure that you get your formation right, and then slowly and relaxedly bring down the ball.
I think it's a pride thing for some guards to try and beat the press by themselves.
You think you can beat it. At first, you think you can beat it, but it's actually baiting you to go and take the ball by yourself, and then that's when the trap comes in.
Parang yung depensa sinasabi, yun nga yung gusto namin eh. Subukan mo talunin yung 3-4 na nagpe-press sa'yo.
And it's tempting because you think you're wide open, but actually they're just waiting there, lurking.
There's Papi Sar. Strong move in the paint and gets the hook to drop.
Papi Sar, the way this guy is built, he's like an NBA player if you take a look at him. This guy coming from Cameroon.
Taladua going inside, and there's a whistle. Or Balanza, rather.
And Letran not settling for just outside jumpers. We can see that everyone's gang rebounding, going into the paint, making sure that if ever one does take a shot, they're there to get the rebound, which was what their advantage was in the last game against LPU, getting 62 rebounds, 29 defensive rebounds.
Smart move to the half brought to you by Smart. Get free YouTube every day from Smart, Sun, and TNT. That was a hook shot inside para dito kay Papi Sar. Tulad doon nabanggit mo, the way this guy is built. Gusto mo siyang iset up sa sitwasyon na isusubo na lang yung bola sa ring.
And if you're Adamson, you definitely want to give the ball at the right time, where he's actually not too early, not too late, but actually at the right moment when he's under the basket, where he actually can seal properly.
Well, one quick move na lang, di ba? Kaysa kakaldagin pa niya, 1, 2 dribbles.
And usually that's what causes turnovers. When he actually dribbles the ball and puts it down, that's when they have problems.
That shot offline mula kay Colonia. At eto na naman ang Letran. 1-point lead for the Knights. Calvo, almost traveled there. Kicks outside. There's a travel.
But what you appreciate there is how Adamson actually got back on defense real quick. You've got Papi Sar sealing underneath the basket, but he's also one of the first guys to get back down in the paint to make sure that there's a blocker, giving Letran a hard time to make that basket.
BC gets it to Magbuos. Colonia having trouble. Dalawang Letran Knights sa sumalubong. Manganti. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Miscommunication. Look at Muyang running, but Ahanmisi just quicker to the ball.
Jarek Ahamisi, the brother of Maverick, shows a lot of potential and promising as a promising shooter and scorer, point guard for Adamson.
That one is good. Three-pointer brought to you by Chooks to Go ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. And now a 2-point lead for Adamson, 8-6. Quinto, post up. Almost got the 3-point play, but will through to the line for 2.
And that was a quick turnaround move, and the defense was forced to just reach out and foul him. But that was a very good move, and considering he's undersized as a big guy.
Bong Quinto misses that first free throw, but that Smart free throw has been brought to you by Smart. Get free YouTube every day from Smart, Sun, and TNT. Quinto, of course, wide enough to play the 3, maybe sometimes the 4, because super small ball lineup. Offers a size mismatch when he's played at the 2-guard spot.
And he reminds us a lot of a build of Draymond Green. You know, he's got bulky, he's got wide shoulders, he's got some good handles. Last game, he's actually scored 17 points and had 10 rebounds and 4 assists. Very Draymond Green-like statistics as well.
Does a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Colonia trying to extricate himself from Agbong. 8-7 ang ating talaan. 1-point lead for Adamson University. Sar again underneath. And that's a second foul on Larry Muyang.
And that's going to hurt because Larry Muyang has played tremendously for Letran. He's been the anchor of this team, and having to take him out early part of the game, 5 minutes into the ball game, and you've got Sar actually now having that confidence saying, you know, I can take these big guys of Letran anytime.
Malagasay checks in para di sa Letran Knights. Papi Sar at the line. And that free throw brought to you by Smart. Get free YouTube every day from Smart, Sun, and TNT. When you have a powerful reinforcement to the Papi Sar, you want him involved as much as possible. Maybe not taking the shot every time, but at least nakakakuha ng touches in every set.
And his presence actually draws the defense, so that gives the opportunity for your three-point shooters to be wide open.
And now it's Adamson University zooming to an 11-7 lead. Just past the halfway mark ng ating unang yugto. Balanza waiting for more friends. Wants Agbong to set things up. Balagasay sets a screen. Kick out, balik kay Balanza. 5 segundo natitira sa shot clock. Fade away, short. Quinto right there, put back, wala. And then on the second effort.
Quinto again, and that's against Papi Sar. So you see the heart and the grit of this young man.
11-9. At least stops the bleeding para dito sa Letran Knights. Sar again, deep position in the paint.
And Adamson doing a good job finding Papi Sar at the right time. And just that entry pass, one turn, quick 2 for him.
Welcome back to ESPN 5, and when you talk about some paint dominance, how about the numbers that Nari Muyang put throughout 3 games? 15 points, 63% shooting, almost a double-double.
And that 63% shooting, it comes from taking high percentage shots, which is under the basket. After getting that rebound and putting it back, again, it's easier for you to score. And you know, it starts with fighting for the ball, wanting it more than the others, and grabbing those rebounds against bigger opponents is what he's probably known for at this point.
Although Larry Muyang is at the bench, foul trouble. So someone has to step up. Gio Ambohot now in the game para sa Colegio de San Juan de Letran. Balanza almost lost it. 10 segundo natitira sa shot clock. Look at the pressure defense of Adamson. Quinto facing up and knocks it down.
That was a bailout shot by Quinto, and Quinto has got actually 5 points and 4 rebounds in this ball game. Another
Shot
rebound
underneath,
for him.
wala. Yan yung different facets ng game ni Bong. Calvo trying to attack immediately.
Again, it's hard to do things on your own if you're Letran. You know, I think I can see Coach Jeff Napa signaling these players like you gotta move the ball. You're playing against a 5-man team, and you can't just do things on your own. Especially if you've been tired out by bringing down the ball because of their full court pressure. By the time you get to the half court, you're tremendously tired. You gotta move the ball to give others an opportunity.
Bonbon Batiller now on the floor para dito sa Letran Knights. Double sa Anmisi. Adamson whipping the ball around. Papi Sar launches, got fouled.
Until that foul, Letran was actually playing a good defense against Adamson, doubling after a pick and roll play and trapping that ball handler and forcing him to give up the ball. And I think they're doing that to avoid them from getting Sar a free shot inside the paint because of that pick and roll play.
Ayaw nila ng matic 2 points, and that Smart free throw was brought to you by Smart. Get free YouTube every day from Smart, Sun, and TNT. Papi Sar already. Parang tatlong conversion sa ilalim. If my math is correct, now he has 7 points.
And it's good that you have a big guy who's more or less most likely to be fouled often to make his free throws a lot.
Good press break para di sa Letran Knights. Adamson giving them a dose of their own medicine. It's Sar on Quinto. Gives him some daylight. Quinto misses. Here comes Adamson. Lastimosa nagmamadali. Dalawang Knights na sumalubong sa kanya. Taken away by Calvo. Ito naman ang Letran.
Letran's doing a good job with that half-court trap.
Calvo makes the pay.
That was over a big guy. He's got 6 points now.
Letran keeping step. It's 13-15. Wala na 3 minuto natitira sa ating unang quarter. Espeleta, top of the key. Balagasay will be whistled for that foul.
Again, using his body instead of moving his feet. But I think that's what Letran wants to do now. Every time Papi Sar sets up screen, they try to trap to avoid that entry pass as he rolls back to the basket.
John Espeleta will be playing this upcoming season with his brother Brendan. It's been a recurring theme in basketball now. You see the Marcelino twins in LPU. And Espeleta boys naman sa Adamson.
I think the twin factor adds to the confusion and adds to the factor as they play defense. Like, who am I getting? That split-second confusion can be taken advantage of by the opponent or the team itself.
Aladua, great transition defense para sa Adamson. Running back, it's just that commitment to prevent the fast break. Batiller, spins, shoots, good score. Ambohot, akawan sa rebound ako nila Stimosa. And it's gonna be a touchdown play para sa Adamson University.
And that's something that you give up if you're Letran. If everybody's going for the gang rebound and getting the offensive rebound, sometimes you tend to forget to have a safety player going down to prevent that attack for the fast break.
18-13. The Falcons flying high against the Knights. Calvo pulls up.
That's
another
a
one.
Three. Just the confidence of this young kid.
Three-point shot brought to you by Chooks to Go. Nag-iisang manok ng bayan. Espeleta saves this one from going out of bounds or going backcourt. The fake and the flyby. Pull-up jumper short. Pero Adamson pa rin ang makakapulot ng rebound. Papisar demanding the basketball.
There you go again with a trap. See, it's not all the time do they first force turnovers for Letran, but it also allows, it causes the opponent to take quick shots that they're not usually taking because of that trapping defense, half-court trap of Letran.
Welcome back to ESPN 5, and Christian Fajarito, again, one of the key contributors to the campaign so far ng Colegio San Juan de Letran.
Yeah, this guy has been averaging 9 points, 50% in his field goal, and 9 rebounds. Again, if you take a look at the top 4 or 5 players of Letran, San Juan de Letran and the Knights, they're all averaging double figures in rebounding, which results to a lot of second chance points for them.
Ooh, 8-second violation. Coach Jeff Napa disputing that call.
And that was a tap previously, which supposedly gives them a reset. They were caught off guard with that call. Like, I'm sure they devised a plan during the timeout, and then you get called an 8-second violation. It just throws you off.
Shaman Ibanez now checks in para sa Colegio de San Juan de Letran. Foul on Adamson University. Very young unit on the floor right now para di sa Soaring Falcons. Veteranong si Coco Pingoy lang, the only exception.
But if you're Coach Franz Permarin, that's exactly what you want. You know, you don't have to unlearn anything. You just have to teach these young kids the system that you have. Rather than erasing something that they already have and then bringing in a new system, I would rather have, you know, a new set of team and then try to introduce the system that I have.
Has to be a quick shot. Oh, look at Ampon flying. Pero Adamson nakakuha ng bola. Katapusan. All the way to the rack, got fouled.
Again, like I said, you know, that's something that they're giving up because everyone's going to the rebound, trying to get that offensive rebound. It's the safety player, the one that's supposed to go down. And technically, the rule of thumb is whoever takes the shot should run down and go be the safety. And unfortunately for them, it was too late a hero.
That's going to be a key thing to watch out for. Lalo na parehong koponan, they like to get up and down the floor, get some easy baskets. So malingat ka lang ng konti kung ikaw yung safety defender. Wala na, your matchup is gone.
Hence the communication. It's very important. You know, the coaches, the assistant coaches should always be aware of our opponents. Make sure that you inform the players that are playing, because sometimes if you're in the game, your mind is too much on what's happening, not really seeing the bigger picture. So that's where the coaches come in. Finally, an 8-second violation that was called a while ago.
This pressure defense now, discombobulating itong Letran.
And you've got a new player coming in and whose fresh legs hasn't really gotten his rhythm yet, and then you're surprised by a full court pressure. You know, that's something that you have to immediately adjust to.
Yun naman yung recognition ng Soaring Falcons. Uy, bagong pasok, malamig pa.
Oo, bagong isda to.
The drive by Batiller, puts it in, puts the foul.
Relentless. You know, Letran has been attacking that full court pressure, and every time they break that, they go straight to the basket with complete disregard for whoever's there. And it has a lot to do without Papi Sar being on the bench.
Sabi ni Batiller, wala na isasalubong sa akin, big man. You know where I'm going all the way to the rack.
And it takes a lot of maturity to see that. You know, having those little advantages and those windows and taking advantage of that takes a lot of maturity as a player.
Just a second deadlock of our game, 19-all. Pingoy picks up his dribble. They break the press, Espeleta. Drop pass.
No, that was a traveling. here you see Letran returning the favor to Adamson. You press us, we press you. Let's see how you can do.
Lalo na si Coco Pingoy bago pasok din sa laro. He may be a veteran but still kailangan pang uminit. There's brand new, checking the clock. Possible last shot time para sa Letran Knights. Padilla trying to extricate himself from Orquez.
That's a second foul called on Orquez. I think it's more of the handshake foul that he tries to keep a quicker guard at check by keeping him at bay by using his hands. But again, the referees are going to call that.
Matapos sa malamangan, at one point they were down 11-7. Bumawi itong Letran. And now with a chance to end the first quarter holding the lead.
And you can see that signs of Adamson definitely playing for the first time in this tournament, trying to adjust with all the calls, trying to adjust with the whole environment and atmosphere, and which is why they're down by 1 point.
5 points para kay Bonbon Batiller. 21-19 lead, 3.9 natitira sa ating unang yugto. Pingoy will trigger this play off the inbound. He takes it. Forward pass, bothered. Napunta pa sana sa kanyang kakampi, but that will take us into the second quarter. And the Letran Knights holding a 2-point advantage, 21-19. It's been up and down basketball, a showcase of full court pressure defense. Pero sa una 10 minuto, nanaig ang Letran Knights 21-19 kontra sa Adamson. Magbabalik po kami dito sa ESPN 5. 12th Filoil Flying V Preseason Cup is presented to you by Chooks to Go, and you can watch every play here on ESPN 5. Maraming salamat po for joining us in our ESPN 5 coverage. It is a 21-19 lead para di sa Coleteson 1 de Letran after the first 10 minutes of action. Ako si James Velasquez, kasama si Juan Banal at ang buong puwersa ng ESPN 5. Juan, what was the biggest story in that first quarter?
I think in the first quarter we both saw what these teams are made of. The full court pressure that they have and the way they can break the full court pressure of the opposing team was in full view in the first quarter, and which is why it resulted in 4 and 5 turnovers. 4 turnovers for Adamson and 5 turnovers for Letran. And so far, whoever breaks the press better is able to convert and could be coming up on top of after this play.
Offensive rebound again para sa Adamson University. Well, that's what you give up when you play zone defense.
That was a miscommunication.
Pingoy lets it fly. Had to fire. No boost na yung shot clock. Brand new. Takes it all the way. Masyado malakas. Pingoy ulit ang rebound. 2-on-2 break. Both teams just zooming up and down. Batiller blocked up top, pero may foul.
And that's actually what you have to do if you're up against a team that presses. Both of them, you can see them doing the same thing, pushing the ball whenever they get the rebound. It's to avoid the opposing team to actually settle down and get their defense in check. That was an aggressive move.
If anything, yun naman yung gusto ng mga Letran Knights na gawin sa larong ito, which is to try and get high percentage points.
And it's a good test for them, both of them here in this preseason, you know, playing against the kind of teams that they're playing against now. Just gives them a different look, different kinds of presses, different kinds of press breaks that you can use against them.
And that free throw brought to you by Smart. Get free YouTube every day from Smart, Sun, and TNT.
Both teams earning their points most from the free throw line because of the aggressive defense. You've got the momentum going on. So as they attack the basket, you've got the momentum of the defense coming. And so there's a tendency to foul them. And now all you have to do is start converting those.
Malagasay back in para kay Gio Ambohot. Celis, Jason Celis as well. Running point para sa Letran. There's Pingoy calling their short play. The ball from side to side. Espeleta. 10 segundo natin tira sa shot clock. Bernardo, hinahanap si Coco. Pingoy running into trouble. Finds Mojica who fires. Back arms with triple try. Well, we'll go the other way. There was a foul on the Falcon.
From what I see, Letran is now implementing a 1-3-1 half-court defense, giving up their half-court trap a while ago, which actually worked wonders for them, causing Adamson to cause the ball to turn over more often than they were supposed to. But now it gives them an opportunity to cover the sides. Again, the whole of this 1-3-1 defense will be the baseline. Without Papi Sar and inside playing that, dominating that shaded area, they can actually implement this defense.
Espeleta, double team. Look at the trans
There
defense.
you go again with the trap.
Oh, Pingoy, the setup. But no finish para sa Adamson.
Oh,
Hotelier slip. Quinto, kick out. And Malagasay and Letran will reset. Open shot for Balanza. Bang!
there you go.
Three-point shot brought to you by Chooks to Go. Nag-isang manok ng bayan. A welcome sight. Three-point shot para sa Letran.
And you know, Letran is giving Adamson different looks in terms of defense, and now the adjustment is quite tough. Now you have to check and you have to read what kind of defense are they actually implementing.
It's been a 7-0 run for the boys from Intramuros.
And that half-court trap that they have, and now we can see their full-court trap. It's the delay and disrupting the offense of Adamson that's quite crucial now, and that's working for the Letran Knights.
Let's see how Adamson responds. Binalik na din si Jerica Hanmisi. Lastimosa. Sino mo pumawi? Wala. Labanan sa rebound. Makukuha pa rin na soaring Falcons. Hanmisi lets it fly. And rebound collected by Letran. Coast to coast. Balanza
And
gets
again,
it to
there you go
go.
again. After they get that rebound, they immediately run and attack this Adamson defense.
28-19. Now a 9-0 run. Para din sa Letran. Hanmisi asking for the ball. No, sends it to the right side. Lastimosa, naghanap na sasalaksakan. Hangs in the air and finishes.
Finally, that aggressive move resulted to a very, very good drive and move. And hopefully they can keep doing that. Every time they break that trap, they strike, attack the basket, similar to what Letran is doing to them.
Quinto in the bench post. 9 seconds natitira sa shot clock. Quinto, mid-range. That's good.
Quinto picking up where he left off before he headed to the bench. He's got now 7 points and 5 rebounds in the ballgame.
Another one from three-point distance. This one from Anderson. Three-point shot brought to you by Chooks to Go. Ang isang manok ng bayan.
I think there's only second 3 points in the ballgame. So that's something that Letran will have to give up when they play 2-3 zone.
Calvo trying to extricate himself from Machon. Oh, Balanza flying high, gets denied up top.
And if you notice, James, it's the middle lane that Letran has been attacking. That's something that they feel like Adamson is missing. They can't seem to close out or block or clog that shaded area, that middle area. And so it's been resulting to free throws for them and some open layups.
At kaya naman ito si Balanza. Tuloy-tuloy pag-atake. That smart free throw has been brought to you by Smart Get for YouTube every day from Smart Sun and TNT. It's been Jeric Balanza, Bonbon Batiller, si JP Calvo kanina. Like you mentioned, just attacking that middle area.
It's the middle lane, and again, without Papi Sar, it becomes wide open for them. And Adamson has to figure out how do they close out and force them to the baseline rather than in the middle.
Well, it's simple really. Makita mong wala yung 6'9" big man doon sa gitna. Sige na, atakihin mo na.
Biglang luminaw yung mata mo eh. Biglang walang nakaharap.
There's Machon, face-up jumper. Offensive rebound again for Adamson. And that's been keeping them in this game now. Second chance.
Yeah, and these big guys of Adamson are actually real tall and athletic. They've got long arms, outstretched arms when they go jump for that ball. So Letran should always box out in this ball.
Here's Quinto. Sets up Malagasay. No, goes back outside, but traveling.
That split-second decision that you have to make, do I take the three? Do I go for the basket? You know, sometimes that's what causes you to travel. And right now, we take a look at the free throw scenario for both teams. 5 out of 10, 50% for Adamson. Meanwhile, you've got Letran shooting 9 out of 11.
And Misi fires and hits.
This guy
three-point shot brought to you by Chuksugo, nag-isa manok ng bayan.
And this guy just shoots and shoots from the three-point. And if you're Letran, you have to mark this guy because any wide open shot, he will take it.
Tingnan natin kung magbabago yung depensa ng Letran dahil sa shooting ni Jerica Hanmisi.
But there you go again. It's the middle lane again that they're attacking. They're not even going to the baseline. They're attacking the center middle area of Adamson. And so far, it's been paying dividends for them.
33-29. Wala na 5 minuto natitira sa ating ikalawang yugto. Estimosa uses the Machon screen. Mid-range shot para kay Bernardo. Wala. Great gang rebounding para sa Letran Knights.
And there's another foul.
Ayun na naman, gitna na naman, Juan.
And we take a look at the great find for Jay Amboja to fake the shot and the finish. Smart assist of the half, brought to you by Smart. Get free YouTube every day from Smart, Sun, and TNT.
And Jayo on board, I really appreciate what he's doing in the zone defense of Letran. He's the guy that actually goes out and recovers in the three-point area whenever the guards are left behind.
Oh, look at Quinto! Fancy footwork in the post.
This guy, this undersized big, is doing wonders. His footwork is awesome.
Simple
Yeah,
the scoring.
very
Mid-range.
basic. You know, nothing fancy. Just back down, feels the body of the opponent, and then takes that drop step.
Oh, look at that fadeaway though from Lastimosa. Gets the 2 points back. Tingin pa rin ang ating laro. It's 35-31. Lamang ang Letran kontra Adamson. At kalahati minuto natitira sa first half. Calvo kick out. Uy ni Balanza. Telling everyone to settle down. Quinto, nagiging ng bola. He's been hot in the first half. Post niyan si Bernardo. 4 seconds left to shoot.
Oh,
Muntik pa makaisa si
that was
Bong.
sweet. Supposedly, we could have made that.
And here's Quinto.
Oh.
Puts it down with a slam.
Did he even actually have to run? Parang walang buwelo yun ah.
Effortless basketball para kay Bong Quinto at lamang pa rin Letran, 37-31. Open shot. Oh, bounces out. Pasok na sana para kay Bernardo.
You know, lately Adamson has been settling for that jumper instead of taking it inside. A while ago, Lastimosa took it inside and he was able to convert. That's something that they have to take a look at.
Ball takes a contact and roll trip to the line. Again, Letran just pounding it in the paint.
Putting it in paint, making sure that they're making the most of Papi Sar sitting on the bench. And exactly like that, he's coming into the ball game.
Took a while.
Yeah.
Para di sa Adamson University, but of course here in the preseason cup, coaches like to mix and match different combinations of players on the floor. Siyempre, pagkakataon din para do sa mga bagong recruit, mga batang player to get some floor time. Is this Smart Free Throw has been brought to you by Smart. Get free YouTube every day from Smart, Sun, and TNT.
And of course, if you got a player like Papi Sar who will definitely 80% of the ball game play inside the shaded area, that demands a lot of banging of bodies, and you have to pace him as a coach to make sure that he will last all throughout the game. And by the fourth quarter, when you need him the most, he will actually deliver and not be too exhausted.
And Misi, 9 seconds left to work with para sa Adamson. Batinier takes it away. Another turnover.
Let's say again, Letran has been playing team defense from start to end, and right now we're just entering the halftime, and you don't see any signs of them tiring, even though they've been trapping, even though they've been playing hard-nosed defense. And if you're going to play one-on-one offense against them, it's at the end of the day you're the losing end because you get tired.
That's why I call him the Dark Knight, because he doesn't use what is not in his arsenal. Kung ano yung nandun sa
Very bad man,
bag,
bro.
oh, diba? Doon sa bag of tricks niya. Kung makita niya may size mismatch, back you down. Use my strength, use my footwork. Speed advantage, take you off the dribble.
Nothing really superhero-ish from his end, nothing supernatural. It's all basic. He's showing everyone that you can actually do the same thing. All you have to do is make sure that you make the right decisions and have your basic foundation.
39-31, Letran pa rin ang may hawak na kalamangan. off the air, we were talking about Adamson looking for a go-to guy, so to speak.
Whenever the play breaks down for Adamson, the question is, who do you give the ball to just to make sure that you can still have a good attempt? Letran so far has been going to Bong Quinto whenever the play breaks down, and they've got, you know, that shot clock running down. But for Adamson, they've been looking for that. That's why they've been stagnant in a 31 points.
Oh, and Misi takes it away. 3-on-2 fast break in the making. And a foul. The Letran Knights denying katapusan, an easy look at the basket.
And if you're Coach Franz Pamarin, that's the thing that you're looking for, especially in a preseason tournament. You know, these are the things that at some point, because you keep playing, somebody will step up, somebody will rise, somebody will reveal themselves for the team, which you can fully depend on when the season actually starts.
Habang sinusubukan mong tapisin yung kalamangan, it all starts with their defense first of all.
And right now for Letran, again, it's the middle area, the shaded lane that they've been attacking. But again, they might take a look at it again. They're going to have a second look at it because Papi Sar has entered the ball game and is going to be plugging. You can expect that his presence will be felt there.
40-32. Walang punto sa kalamangan para sa Letran Knights. Patelier looking to steady the troops. Uyang nagbabalik sa laro. Rolling to the basket. Gets the ball, reverses, and gets the finish.
And if you take a look at Buyang, he reminds you a lot of Bo Belga-ish, you know, and the look that he has. He's quite agile also for his size, and he can easily bang bodies with Papi Sar.
Estimosa crossing over to the left. Oh, look at the hesitation. $1 million move, but couldn't complete the pass thanks to the defense of Letran.
He could have gone all the way there.
Passes sa labas kay Anvisi. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Sar splits the screen. Anvisi launches, misses. Oh. Foul on Letran, much to the disappointment of the entire Knights bench.
And Buyang just, you know, missing that rebound by half a second only because of his timing. And, you know, he just came from the bench sitting down because of his 2 fouls against Papi Sar. And, you know, just finding his timing, finding his rhythm back again in this ballgame.
Manganti, step back.
Hey!
Bang! Nice shot!
That was a sweet step back.
Sean Manganti with that 3-point shot brought to you by Chooks to Go. At ang isang manok ng bayan. It's 42-35. Last shot time para sa Letran Knights. Calvo with the basketball. Calvo nadulas. Turns it over.
See, the presence of Papi Sar, that just if you feel like there's a big guy hovering and just following you wherever you're going, it does cause that intimidation factor.
Parang nag-solar eclipse.
Oh. Ito nga si Papi Sar kanina, sumisil against Muyang. Eh parang nawala si Muyang sa picture. Biglang ganun kalapad huto si Papi Sar.
Not a lot of people can say that. Natanggal nila sa picture. Ito si Larry Muyang. Brandon gives a foul.
There's still 3. They just have 3 team fouls in this ballgame. It's enough time to just delay this.
Coach Jeff Napa, pinasok si Jax Cambid, another additional perimeter defender.
Making that strategic moves.
Mohican.
There you go. Pay dividends. You know, subbing the right people just to delay that. 2 seconds is a lot of time. But if you bring in the right people, you can make those crucial stops.
At ang Letran Knights, namamayagpag dito sa ating first half. Lamang sila 42-35. We break down the story of the stats sa aming pagbabalik dito sa ESPN 5.
Now, Adamson scoring and shooting 38% compared to the 56% of Letran. That's quite high. And then in terms of 3 points, Adamson has an advantage there with 4 3-points made compared to just the 2 of Letran. But if you take a look at their turnovers, Letran committing 8 turnovers compared to the 5 of Adamson. But it doesn't really paint a picture because of the press of Adamson. Adamson. They are allowing Letran to commit those turnovers, but at the same time, Letran is forcing the delay in the offense of Adamson, and when they do make stops, they get the rebounds, they certainly run the ball.
And also when the play breaks down, it's a luxury to have an efficient player tulad ni Bong Quinto leading the way.
Bong Quinto with 11 points, and helped by his other teammates by Calvo 9 and Batelier with 9. On the other hand, you've got Adamson with Papisar with 7, and then Maghanti with 6, and Katapusan with 4, and the rest of the team actually will have to start contributing for Adamson.
That's a key stat that we have to mention there, Juan. Ito si Papisar, siya na yung nanguna sa scoring kumpara dun sa 11 ni Bong Quinto. Papisar had 7 and he had extended time on the bench.
Yeah.
So while he was on the bench, sino yung nagdadala ng laban para sa Adamson? When the play breaks down, like what you mentioned, someone has to be able to create his own offense when everything else goes awry.
Yeah, and we were looking at Jarek Ahamisi actually taking that charge, and unfortunately with this trapping defense, he is forced to give up the ball whenever Adamson double teams on it. And when that happens, he gives up the ball, and then the play breaks down, and they don't have anywhere or anyone to go to at that point.
Larry Muyang can also stand to up his numbers. He hasn't been needed as much because of the play of his other teammates. It's been a collective effort para pigilan sana ito si Papisar. But Larry Muyang will have to up his game here in the second half. We go back to your commandments for winning in this game. For the second half, what would you like to see? Let's go first with Letran.
Again, for Letran, they have to just keep pushing the ball. That's been the advantage that they have, making sure that when they do trap and get the rebound, attack the defense of Adamson, not allowing them to settle and create that problem for them for their full court pressure. On the other hand, you've got Adamson Falcons right now, because you haven't found the guy that you're going to give the ball to whenever the play breaks down. I think what they should start doing is pass the ball more often, rotate, move the ball often, and then hopefully find that open guy for that easy 2 points.
Easy 2 points para kay Papisar.
Speaking
Just
of
two
easy 2
dribbles.
points, yeah. And again, they did a good job in the first part of the first quarter giving the ball to Papisar in the shaded area, because when he seals, he actually definitely finds himself underneath that basket for that easy 2 points.
Quinto, post up, no, sets up Muyang. Ball tip, Maghanti on the break. And here's Sean Maghanti flying and finishing. Quick 4 points for Adamson.
Just like that, coming off the halftime break, Adamson just changes their style and then just pushes the ball.
And an offensive foul on the Letran Knights, EJ Agong. Wilson for pushing off against Papisar. Again, it's that SAR factor, just clogging the middle, being a disruptive presence. As we take a look at Sean Maghanti, you know what he can do. He can fly.
You know, James, that's how crucial. And sometimes people think that, you know, that halftime break is just taken by the players to rest, recharge, and all that. But actually, it's the most crucial, for me, most crucial part of the ball game, because it can just immediately turn tide. You know, it demands a lot of motivation. Whatever the coaches say in the halftime break is what probably will dictate what's going to happen for the rest of the game.
Kaya ang daming coaches nagsasabi, napakahalaga kung paano ka lalabas ng laro after halftime. Look at that, another one for Adamson University.
They're just coming out right now after the break. There's full throttle. And Letran, on the other hand, probably the confidence that they have, maybe too confident after ending the second quarter on such a high note. Now entering the third quarter and apparently flat-footed.
Well, Calvo trips. Fouled by Colonia, pressuring him outside the three-point line.
Alam mo, James, ang isang nakakatakot na third quarter team sa NBA is the Golden State Warriors, and they're known for that. That when they enter the third quarter, you expect that they're gonna go all out, and they've dominated 90 or 80% of the teams in the third quarter.
Ganun usually trademark of great teams. Papisar reaching in kay JP Calvo, gets whistled for a foul.
And Coach Franz Pumarin signaling Papisar like, use your feet, close him out, don't use your hands. You're such a big guy. You can actually create a wall to force the guy to actually turn the other side.
It's a one-point ball game, 42-41. 6-0 run para sa Adamson University. Quinto having trouble. Kita mo naman yung respeto doon sa laro ni Bong Quinto.
And now they're starting to double.
Maghanti with that second jump.
Jed Colonia gets it inside. Papisar, no, tipped off.
Muyan just did a good job there trailing. You've got a trailing Papisar who's probably about to get an easy 2, but Muyang just following him there, making sure that he's got active hands to stop that offensive or at least that throw in for Papisar.
What Papisar is doing now, one is just running rim to rim.
Yeah, and it's amazing. You know, in the ball game, probably the most tired player in the ball game is the center because he usually runs from baseline to baseline. Point guards usually run from 3-point to 3-point. You know.
And now Muyang getting frustrated. That's his 3rd foul now. Trying to push Papisar outside of the paint.
And compared to last ball game against the LPU, he played a lot of offensive threat, and you know he was offensive-minded during that game. But today, I think he's more defensively moving, and his mindset is more for defense, having to play against Papisar.
Bonquito takes that one away. Patilier bounce pass sa loob. Papisar, great job.
Yeah, Papisar, that threat, that intimidation factor.
Patilier one-on-one kontra kay Ahanmisi. Wants to back him down. Gets to the middle. Kicks outside. Touch pass to the corner. Taladua. Short on the 3. Patilier nasa ilalim. Again, another kick out.
And just again, Letran having a hard time scoring in the middle.
That time, Papisar moving laterally. Quinto steps through, floats it up short. Offensive rebound ulit sana para sa Letran. But Taladua steps out of bounds.
As you can notice, James, the intimidation factor of Papisar. Almost 4 plays and 4 attempts that Letran had. They were inside the shaded area and had to kick out the ball because of that huge factor and huge defense that Papisar is imposing on this ball.
While he was at the bench, that's what they were missing. As Ahanmisi lets it fly. Bang! Sweet! Looking shot from Ahanmisi. 3-point shot brought to you by Chuks to go. Ang isang manok ng bayan.
You can never leave Jeric Ahamisi wide open.
Foul on Mamanti. Bodying up on Balanza. Adamson, though, in the driver's seat right now, 44 to 42.
Just like that, the tides have turned. And the question is, what will they do if Papisar goes back to the bench?
The drought continues. It's a 9-0 run para sa Adamson. Colonia lobs it up for Maganti. Ahanmisi, teardrop, gets it a go.
And I just have to say it again, Papisar was a major factor in that wide open layup, wide open floater by Ahamisi because he popped out, and so the defense followed him. And so when Ahamisi drove in the baseline, it was wide open for him for that float.
The attention na kinukuha niya. That's enough to create looks para sa kanya mga kakampi.
And you have to have 2 bodies on Papisar just to make sure that he doesn't get those easy baskets. Because a while ago, a lot of possessions, they've been going to Papisar on one-on-one defense implemented by Letran. But now they have to have 2 bodies on Papisar just to make sure that he doesn't get easy baskets in the plane. And that gives opportunities for the rest of the guys to start attacking the baseline because it opens up because the defense follows where Papisar goes.
Simon Camacho checks in. Para di sa Adamson University. Quinto, pressured immediately by Camacho. Quinto backs him down, upping, left hand, and will troop to the line.
Yeah, and Quinto usually goes to the middle, attacks the middle, but because you've got a Papisar, he was forced to go baseline and wasn't probably a good angles for that shot.
Ito mo naman yung ginawa doon ng Letran. Bagong pasok yung isang malamig na player para sa Adamson Falcons.
Inatake ka agad.
And they go to their most efficient player in Bonquito.
And it's fun to watch and see coaches especially take advantage of those little things. You know, that mind game that you implement.
If you're actively coaching, may makita kang sinab ng kabilang team, matik yun eh. Nagre-register sa utak mo, sige, punta tayo doon, atakayin natin as Quinto. That free throw brought to you by Smart. Get free YouTube every day from Smart Sun and TNT.
And in basketball is a moving chessboard, you know. The coaches always are on top of their game, making sure that they find every little or huge advantage that they can have over the opposing team.
So tell me, if you play chess with Coach Joel.
Grabe. Iba yun. Si Coach Joel, sanay na sanay. Libreng pagupit nga nakukuha nun kasi kinakalaban niya yung mga barbero dati ng bata siya. Pag tinalo niya, libreng gupit eh.
Yun yung reward.
Very cerebral to si Coach Joe. Actually, namana yata ng dalawang kapatid ko, si AL and si Gab, are actually also cerebral players. Mahirap kumalaban doon pagka-chess eh.
Remind me never to challenge you banal boys in a game of chess. It's 48-43. Finally, Letran getting a bucket or free throw, and another one from Bongkito in the post.
And at that time, I think the defense was just, this guy is such a veteran when it comes to post plays.
48-45. Right away ng Adamson ng ball as Colonia settles down the troops. They have 14 left to shoot. Some confusion with their play. Ahanmisi at the wing. Close out by Quinto. Manganti lets it fly. Makes a pay! It's like a different Adamson squad.
Yeah, and you'll appreciate, I think, it has a lot to do. We rarely mention his name this afternoon, but it's Colonia who's making sure that they run the right plays.
Welcome back to ESPN 5 as we take a look at some of the highlights of Bong Quinto. What a mismatch. What a nightmare.
And your Dark Knight is actually rising this afternoon. This guy is actually dominating the shaded area with his post. Very basic post moves, nothing really fancy, but very impressive fundamental moves for Bong Quinto.
But Bong Quinto will need a lot of help because one, it's a 16-3 run for Adamson.
Like again, Adamson just flipped the switch just like that with a lot of pressure defense, just in full throttle, attacking this defense of Letran. Actually catching them off guard after coming off of that halftime break.
And the start of this run is not necessarily the guy who's been scoring as Ambohot knocks down a three. It's not Ahanmisi, it's not just Papisar, but it's their point guard.
Yeah, and I mentioned a while ago, it's Colonia who's actually organizing it for the whole team, making sure the ball is given to the right people and at the right time, making it easy for his teammates to score, not needing to struggle.
Lalo na kanina no first set nabanggit mo na medyo lost yung offense nitong Adamson University.
Settling for one-on-one plays, but rather now they've been moving the ball really well.
Siya rin yung nakakabasa kung sino yung mismatch, sino dapat umatake.
And you can see the leadership because he immediately organized it. And that's the role of the player, the point guard especially. You're the court general. You're the head coach in the court while your teammates are playing. So you have to call the shots. You have to call, like, if one player is not in the right place, then call them out. If you need one player to come to you, then you have to call that out. And it's just taking over the game for Adamson.
Yung pagiging vocal ng point guard, hindi natatapos pag nawala na yung bola sa kanya. Doon pa nga dapat nagsisimula. Habang wala yung bola, he's directing it.
And you're supposed to keep everybody composed. Despite whatever the defense is throwing at you, if you can keep your team composed, then that's definitely an advantage that you have.
It's 52-48. Labang ang Adamson. Wala nang 4 na minuto natitira sa third quarter. Quinto trying to create some offense off the bounce. Looking to take on Katapusan. Quinto steps through, drop pass. Taken away by the Falcons. Here's Manganti, open court. Lots of contact but no whistle. Both players a little banged up, but then there is Manganti. Quinto wants some space. Wants to take on Katapusan one-on-one, and there's a foul.
Bong Quinto just, knowing what kind of advantage he has, calls it out, says, clear the floor, let me take on this guy. And he's taking on a huge role in his shoulders right now with none of the other players are actually contributing, You've got Fajarito not here really making an impact, as well as his other teammates. Like Muyang is also sidelined because of his foul trouble situation against Papisar.
Yung isang kakampi niya na gumagawa kanina, si JP Calvo, not on the floor right now. So, like you mentioned, a bigger scoring role kailangan dito kay Bong Quinto. Offensive rebound, recovered by Bong. Draws a crowd.
Hey, almost. But that was a good fight. So you've got a guy that's got good post moves. You got a guy that has that leadership skills, who wants the ball, who actually wants to take over the ball game. You've got a guy that goes for offensive rebounds despite his height. And then you've got a guy that actually finds the open man and makes his teammates look good.
He's a triple threat. He can post you up, he can pass, he can shoot. That time, muntik pa maka-easy too. Ito si Gio Ambohot. 6 points, 5 rebounds so far for Gio. Still a close ball game despite the big run earlier.
And that's a good thing for Letran right now because they're able to arrest that run that Adamson had and just keeping them close for that easy attack. Hopefully, as they enter the fourth quarter, it's close enough for them to make that kill.
Tapusan gets it to Pingoy. Fires the three. Ang anti-high flying rebound. Well, Papi Sar complaining that he had an advantage in the post.
Manganti is just, with complete reckless abandonment when he goes up in the air. Even a while ago when we looked at his fast break attempt, when he was running the floor, he really cared less if you were going to fly with him, but he's going to jump high. This kid has a lot of potential.
Oh, could not stop Quinto.
Can you believe this guy just dancing in the floor? He's got 17 points and 8 rebounds in the ball game. Just showing us his complete arsenal down low.
Third deadlock of the game at 52 all. Offensive foul on Coco Pingoy.
Sorry, I just have to keep talking about Quinto because he's very suave in his moves. You've got a Papi Sar. He knows where to go. He knows where to attack. He knows when to pull up a fake and just get everybody flying. And then that easy semi-hook, easy 2 points for him.
And Quinto has really worked on his game ever since debuting para sa Letran a few seasons ago. Balanza, pull-up jumper, short. Loco gets a rebound on the putback.
He's got 19 points and 9 rebounds. Almost outplaying himself in the previous game wherein he had 17 points and 10 rebounds.
And Letran back ahead, 54-52. Pingoy having trouble. Take it away. Ambohot gets it to Balanza. Back to Geo. Geo, no contact. Balanza to putback.
And again, that offensive rebound again by Letran. Just going down. You can see the whole team going down the floor. And then for Adamson, like nobody's actually going down to stop that ball game.
That slow grind, allowing Letran to get back ahead, 56-52. Timeout brought to you by Chooks to Go. Ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan.
Sorry, James. We were talking off air, and we were mentioning like, who does the run that Adamson had, sort of the flame died down only because of their second unit. Once you have a second unit coming into the ball game, can they sustain the same heat and intensity that your starting five has?
That's a turnover though. Jerome Lastimosa hitting a three para din sa Adamson University. Pulling his team to within one. Pangatlong point guard na ginamit dito sa laro para sa Soaring Falcons.
And Lastimosa has been playing well even in the second quarter when he actually made those 3 points and those fast break attempts, those conversions. He's been actually a good, steady backup point guard. And so far, he's been paying dividends for Adamson. Again, we have yet to see really, Pingoy make that impact in this ball game. And he's been subbed to the bench after a couple of minutes.
Double digits na itong si Papi Sar. Kanina para sa Letran, nung umupo si Papi Sar, yun yung bullseye, yun yung target. Ngayon, walang Larry Muyang, itong Letran. That has to be the bullseye, the target now para kay Papi Sar to keep being aggressive in the paint.
But you don't really feel the lack of Muyang because you've got Quinto taking on the charge. And he's been getting all the defense now, the attention of the defense. And so it's been hard for Adamson now to play their regular defense because you've got a one-on-one player who's actually dominating anybody that substitutes and plays defense on him.
Lalo na, kanina pa natin paulit-ulit sinasabi that Quinto is a walking mismatch.
And despite his height advantage, him being an undersized big, doesn't matter. He knows how to use the arsenal that he has. If he's got a big guy playing against him, taller than him, then he uses his speed. If he's got a smaller guy, then he uses his strength. So that shows a lot of maturity in terms of this guy.
He's still going to be a major reason for Letran's success as the Knights back on top, 58-57. Wala nang isang minuto natitira sa ikatlong yugto. Handoff pabalik kay Jerome Lastimosa. Lastimosa, Balagasay switches. The recovery by Balanza. Quick spin. Lastimosa drops it off para kay Bernardo. Wala, Papisar fighting for it. And ball will go the other way.
Like we mentioned in the beginning of the ball game, for Adamson to actually take home the victory this afternoon, they have to stay loyal to their system. You know, like that full court pressure. Just make sure you be trusting that Coach Franz and his system actually works. And you know, if you go break the play and break the system by your own independent intentions, then that's obviously not going to pay dividends or yield good results. And so you just have to trust the system slowly but surely. You know, Adamson, we expect him to come into this ball game.
Jonathan Espeleta with a quick catch and shoot. Quinto checking the clock. His team down by 1. Possible last shot time in the third quarter para sa Letran Knights. It will be Quinto guarded by Christian Bernardo.
Of course, they give him the ball, right?
Quickly attacks left. Puts it up off the glass and in.
And just erases the defense with that quick nudge.
Bong Quinto taking over in the third. And earning the ire of the coaching staff now of Adamson. One-on-one situation. Bong Quinto just blitzes past his defender and puts Letran ahead. But Adamson University, look at Sean Manganti, 12 points, 2 of 3 from downtown.
Yeah, and it all came on this second half boost. Like he was a big factor coming into this third quarter, just opening it up and just turning the tide and just bringing up the Adamson type of basketball.
Manganti and the Falcons flying high, but Bong Quinto relentless. Lamang ulit ang Letran. Heading into the fourth quarter, magbabalik po kami sa ESPN 5. Fourth quarter action underway from the 12th Filoil Preseason Cup. Brought to you by Chucks to Go. It is a 1-point lead for Colegio San Juan de Letran at 60-59 against Adamson University. Maraming salamat again for joining us in our ESPN 5 coverage. Ako po si James Velasquez. Kasama si Juan Banal. What a third quarter!
Yeah, definitely a third quarter for the Adamson Falcons. If we take a look at their per quarter scoring, they only scored 19 points in the first quarter and 16 points in the second. But come third quarter, they actually scored 24 points, outscoring all the quarters of the Letran Knights.
Alley-oop play broken up. Lastimosa, double team, bibigay kay Jonathan Espeleta. Pupunta sa ilalim, and one!
That was just, again, good ball movement for this team, finding the open man. And remember, Papisar draws the defense, and if he draws the defense, somebody must be open. And if you can take a look at this play, them finding that open guy in the shaded area because the whole big guys were actually sagging on Papisar.
Vince Magbuas, one of their new recruits. 6'4", power forward. This smart free throw has been brought to you by Smart Get for YouTube every day from Smart Sun and TNT. Could not complete the three-point play, but Espeleta offensive rebound. Pagkakataon para dagdagan ng kalamangan para sa soaring Falcons. Magbuhos, no high-low play. Espeleta, bang!
That was such a good line in the shot.
Three-point shot brought to you by Chucks to Go. Nag-isa manok ng bayan.
Despite the hand on his face, he just knew the moment he caught that ball, he's going to make that three-point shot.
Foul given up by Jerome Lastimosa. Mas may pangil na ulit yung pressure defense ng Adamson University.
And usually, pag nakaka-score ka kasi nakakadagdag ng kumpiyansa yun, di ba? So gusto mo mas ginaganahan ka. Noong first and second quarter, scoring only 19 and 16, nakakawalang gana, bumabagal yung depensa mo. But right now, just finding life in the third quarter, you can see a new Adamson Falcons taking over this ball game.
Buyang at si Quinto will be the primary scorers here unless Balanza knocks it down. No. Buyang nasa ilalim. And again with Adamson University without a Papisar, I see him checking in now. Pero yung kanina, nakita agad si Muyang magiging mismatch.
Yeah. And just getting that offensive rebound so easy for Mamuyang, you know, that's a sign that, you know, we can't let this, it's a fourth quarter, you know, just a couple of minutes letting it slip can probably dictate the result of this ball game. JP
Calvo to trigger this play off the inbound. A 4-point lead para sa Adamson University. Balanza having trouble, nakawala. Ibigay kay Muyang. Balik sa labas. Quinto. Rebound collected by Papi Sar.
Pag na-shoot niya yun, ewan ko, birthday na yata niya talaga today eh.
Every game birthday para sa Letran. How about Jerome Lastimosa? Steady quarterbacking in the second half.
And you appreciate it. You know, he's not getting rattled with this half-court trap of Letran. He's just organizing, very consistent. That's what we're looking for. You know, if the second unit comes in for Adamson, how consistent are they? Can they sustain the same intensity and the same brand of basketball of the first five that actually started all this run?
14 seconds.
14 to shoot para sa Adamson University. Upo muna si Jeric Balanza. Patilier, ginugulo si Lastimosa. Foul on Bonbon Patilier.
Just the pressure defense, that tires a player out, especially if you're the point guard that's being pressured. Again, these fouls that you're giving up, it's all psychological as well. You know that you want to know the opponent. You want to let your offensive player know that, hey, I'm right here, right in your nose.
Another foul on Letran.
Just not be too overly aggressive, I would say.
Of course, there's a difference between defending aggressively, defending without fouling.
Being smart about your moves as well. Right now, they've got 5 fouls in this ballgame, and we're just 8 minutes into this ballgame.
Lastimosa finds an open teammate, couldn't knock it down. Calvo the rebound. Ito na ang Letran Knights. Calvo waiting for more friends. Ang bohot sets the screen para makawala si JP. Ang bohot na libre. Rebound by the Falcons. Forward pass.
Oh.
Strong move by Mojica.
And you rarely see that for Letran, actually, that nobody's transitioning in defense, just a 2-on-1 fast break, well run by the Adamson Falcons. So it's sustaining the run, you know, slowly a bit. There was a window that they actually relaxed, but now they've got their groove back again with the lead of Lastimosa taking charge for the Adamson, making sure that the run is still alive, and they're going to keep Letran at bay.
Quito driving left, having trouble. Balik sa labas kay Calvo, lets it fly.
Hey.
Big shot!
And we missed that three-point shot of Calvo. He was hot in the first quarter, but now actually bringing that and that confidence of Calvo, that speed, he actually draws the defense, and now that's a different brand now, different look for Letran that Adamson is dealing with.
Three-point shot underway, wala. At si Marcos matatawagan ng foul, but Patilier sent crashing to the floor.
Patilier just smiling because he's now returning the favor. You called 2 fouls on me. Now I'm going to try to pick one and get another foul.
But going back to your point about JP Calvo, now it relieves the pressure mula dito kay Bong Quinto to be the one instigating and creating offense.
And then, you know, he's a point guard. He tries to bring down the ball and make sure that when he attacks, he can give that drop pass. And you can see he's quite aggressive in attacking the paint as well.
66-63. Apisar steps out.
And he just calls a play, a double pick, a high pick on him. You know that this guy is offensive-minded, and if he does that, he distracts the whole team from that attention from Bong Quinto.
Boy Mojica will be checking in para sa Adamson University.
Slowly, Coach Franz Vermeijer inserting his starting unit.
Si Jed Colonia, pinasok na rin niya. Was, like you mentioned, he was the star of that third quarter.
And when we say star, it's not even by points, but it's really more of the organization that he's bringing to the team, you know, having that composure. And it just eliminated the half-court trap and the pressure that Letran was actually imposing in the second and first quarter.
Calvo, steady from the stripe. Makes it a one-point game. A lot of basketball left to be played, 6:43.
Now we have a close ball game. Both teams not giving up.
Uy, muntik mo immortal sin ng point guard na i-pick up yung dribble doon.
And trapping area pa. Oo.
Oh, Magbuho stretches and finishes.
And again, the defense, Muyang couldn't help out because he was manning Papi Sar there. And so that was a wide open layup.
Quito, post up, taken away. Adamson adjusting defensively now.
Yeah. And then I think Bong Quinto is showing signs of fatigue, and that sloppy pass that he made You rarely see him make that mistake.
Turnover. Patelier, drop off. Wala pa rin, another turnover.
Again, it's the fast break now. I mean, that's an advantage for Letran a while ago, but they haven't been really converting, making those miscues, having those miscues and turnovers.
Colonia. Tumagbuhos. Lost the ball. Recovers. Outside. Manganti.
Hey, Manganti now, he's got 15 points in the ball game, just burning them from the three-point line.
71-65, approaching the halfway mark of the fourth quarter. Quinto outside the paint. Nakawala kay Magbuhos. Quinto couldn't convert. Muyang underneath. And will shoot free throws.
And see that you have to ask right now if, you know, if you're trapping the point guard with Papi Sar, you have to make that trap work. Because if they do break that, then you've got Papi Sar all the way in the half court, taking such a long time to get back on defense in the shaded area, which at that scenario gave a lot of chance for Buong Quinto to make that drive and no one to stop him. And Muyang was able to get that offensive rebound as well because Papi Sar was all the way in the half court, having to run back because they weren't able to make that stop and that risk that they took by trapping in the half court.
So kailangan 1 point in defensive
Yeah,
rotations.
definitely. And if magta-trap ka na rin naman, make sure na you're gonna delay the basketball or, you know, force a turnover. Kung hindi, mahihirapan si Papi Sar makababa sa loob. At nakita kagad ni Buong Quinto yun at he took advantage of that wide open lane.
Manganti. Dapat nirebalansa against sila Magbuhos. So he swings it over to Hanmisi. Wrestling match underneath. Sar versus Muyang. Diniskarta si Hanmisi. Jerry got it to Sean Manganti, but there's a foul on Letran, on Bonbon Batelier.
But again, that was a good effort of Letran. You know, Muyang, although we haven't felt him in this ball game in terms of offense, but you can see his effort in terms of defense, and he has been stopping Papi Sar. Papi Sar has been dominating the first quarter with his inside presence and the start of the third quarter, but Muyang doing his role, doing what he's, you know, whatever role is given to him, and right now his role is to stop Papi Sar, and he's been banging bodies. You mentioned it's a wrestling match, and if you could only see the bodies that are actually banging against each other. These guys are heavyweights.
Manganti steady on the stripe. 16 points for Sean.
And I think he's the consistent, source of points for Adamson, making it from the three-point area, and as well as running the fast break and having those high leaps. You know, it was just hard to stop this guy.
You can just see the growth of his game from being a highlight on the open court. Ngayon, makikita mo sa half court, kaya ka na rin parusahan. Tulad ng ginagawa ni Jeric Balanza with his mid-range game.
Again, Letran now finding the open guy whenever that trap or press of Adamson is broken.
Manganti studying the troops. Muyang and Sar wrestling at foul ulit kay Larry Muyang.
And I think it's more of, somebody has to tell Muyang that it's okay, you're doing a good job stopping, and he doesn't have to be frustrated. Because if we see Papi Sar, he's panting right now, and it's because of the banging of bodies that they have against Muyang, and Muyang is actually doing a good job. I mean, we don't feel you in terms of offense, but defensively, your presence is felt.
Papi Sar still at 11 points in this ball game.
It's been a long time since we mentioned Papi Sar scoring easy 2 points in the shaded area, and that has a lot to do with Muyang.
Trabahuhin mo man lang yung ganong type of defense kontra sa isang dominant player tulad ni Papi Sar. 72-69, lamang pa rin ang Adamson. 4 na minuto natin tira sa ika-4 na yugto. All will stay with the Letran Knights. Muyang back to the bench. Malagasay, papalit sa kanya. 2 tall towers in Ambohot and Malagasay in that Letran front court. Here's Quinto checking the clock, making his move.
And he's enjoying that matchup in the paint, He's easily converting from facing up to posting and backing down whenever he sees the kind of defense that his opponent is giving him.
Quinto looking to deal some damage from the free throw line as well as stopping the clock. 22 big points for the Dark Knight.
And 9 rebounds to go with it.
Still a 22. Papisar secures the miss. 2-point ball game, 72-70. Manganti, Ahan Misi.
Bam! Again, a wide open 3 points for Jerick Misi. He's got 11 points in the ball game. And he's just so confident and suave and cool when he takes those threes. Like he knows it's gonna go in before the ball even, leaves his hand.
I would pay to watch a shooting contest, shootout between Jerick and Maverick. To be followed by...
And I'm sure these guys play a lot of one-on-ones growing up, They know each other's ball game. Probably closely identical already, but you've got Maverick Hamisi just maturing in terms of his ball game, being a go-to point guard now for his team. And I'm sure Jerick is following suit. Soon enough, he will do, and it's actually play the similar way, hopefully.
Does it remind you of the battles in the Banal household?
Yeah, it's all sorts of battles happening in the house. You've got 4 boys in one house, and that's all. It's a wrestling match, a basketball match, and all sorts of matches. Lahat na.
15 points para kay JP Calvo, make that 16. Again, his entry relieving so much pressure from Bong Quinto to try to create on his own.
The points that he's scoring, it's not so much that you're going to say, oh, it's you could recognize Bong Quinto the whole game, but you'd be surprised that he's actually scored 16 points already. Medyo quiet yung 16 points na eh, di ba?
Tahimik to skalat.
Pero effective, di ba?
Calvo giving it to Bong Quinto. They've been the 1-2 punch. Oh, crossover to the right. Bong! Will troop to the line.
He's just enjoying this matchup. You give me a guy that's slower than me, I take him outside, I cross him over, and I fish for the foul, and that's 2 free throws for Bong Quinto.
That's it for Simon Camacho.
And you can see the coaches, especially the big guy coaches on the bench, we got to work on our defense. And Coach Don Aliado, of course, designated to work on the big guys of Adamson.
Oh, Mintes para kay Quinto. Gets the rebound.
That's the double-double already for him.
Posting up Sar, but Papi Sar making him miss. It's a jump ball situation. Possession arrow pointing the way of Letran Knights.
That's a good effort by Bong Quinto. Just going for that rebound after he missed.
75-72. Behind Misi on Balanza. Balanza going left. Fading away. Nice looking shot, but no finish. Offensive rebound for Letran.
Again, we've mentioned this. That's one crucial factor that they have. They just, are quite resilient in getting that ball in the offensive rebound. Ang Bohot, again, making that happen. He may not be able to get that rebound because Papi Sar's too big, but he tapped it out, and that active hands of the point guards were able to pick it up, that 50-50 ball.
A few years ago, the Letran Knights had the Ant-Man in Mark Cruz, who was terrorizing defenses with the speed. Now it's JP Calvo.
And I think it's something that's being a trend now. It's becoming a trend for Letran. Finding that point guard that actually can make a difference in terms of speed.
In any sport, you can stop, but you cannot catch. Yun ang pinapatunay ng JP Calvo.
We're just enjoying JP Calvo with his, the scoring that he's showing for Letran. He's been steady for them the whole game.
Speaking of steady as well, Adamson, they're shooting in the second half. Manganti, Ahan Misi, Magbuhos. Names other than Papi Sar. As Ahan Misi lets it fly. This is that time. Rebound, Magbuhos. Lost it on the way out.
Yeah, those were 2 big guys for Adamson that actually had a miscommunication, tapping each other and tapping the ball out.
Still a 2-point ball game, 75-73.
You've got Astimosa now finishing for Adamson. He's a name that we mentioned a while ago because of his steady presence, committing really little turnover for the team.
Tsaka yung halos kasing bilis ni JP Calvo. Kaya siya sabayan sa depensa.
last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Manganti for three.
Hey! Hey, and he's just gnawing on the defense and saying, where are you?
Ambohon. Oh, Sar lost his balance, slipped, and committed a foul.
Just Manganti burning hot in this quarter.
He scored in the open court, and he's done damage from long distance.
That's interesting for a player, you know, if you continue to grow in terms of your skill set and arsenal. I mean, if you're a one-dimensional player, obviously you're gonna, you know, be playing roles in the team. But if you can add arsenal to and add more skills and be an all-around player, then definitely you're gonna be one of the pillars for this basketball team.
And of course, looking forward in his basketball career when he does decide to go pro.
And his height is perfect for the PBA. His speed, his height, his arsenal right now, his shooting, and his athleticism as well.
Ganyan 6'4", pwede mo kilang 2, 3, 4.
Yung galamay niya parang JC Intali, ang haba, di ba?
That's a nice comparison. Oh, look at Manganti, split to defense.
Oh, and that
drop pass, Magbuhos for the finish.
Hey, what a good play.
John
He
Manganti
just
absolutely
played with the
cooking.
defense, yeah. And then gets the offensive foul.
On Bongkito no
Now,
less.
Bongkito. And he's doing everything now for Adamson, making sure that they sustain and contain that lead that they have. Down low, you know, you're expecting the defense to come to double team, but he just plays his game, you know, not getting rattled and just makes those moves.
It has to be flawless basketball though.
One with 1 and 19 remaining. 6 na puntos ang inahabol ng Letran Knights.
And Letran now will have to be careful. I mean, again, they're paying the price for that penalty, early penalty situation. That was a cost for them to relieve themselves, to lighten a little bit the pressure defense that they have because of the unnecessary fouls that they committed early in this fourth quarter. And now that they actually need to pressure defense, they are in foul trouble, and they're forcing Adamson to take those free throws, and Adamson has been making them pay ever since.
Lifeline rebound for J.O. Ambohon. Atelier driving against Manganti. Kick out. Quinto post up. Puts it in.
Quinto just not yet done in this ball game.
24 points for the Dark Knight. Misi steadying the troops, and they want everyone to set up. Under 50 seconds natitira sa fourth quarter. Misi goes to the left. Magbuhos, baseline J. Or Magbuhos inside rather. Taken away by JP Calvo. 5-on-4 break. Quinto drops it off for Ambohon. Blocked but foul.
Good intention again. Quinto waiting at the last moment to just drop that pass, drawing the defense first. That was a good run in terms of fast break for the Letran Knights.
You want your rim protector to be on the floor for the final 31.7.
And hopefully to get this rebound. You know, I'm sure Coach France and his coaching staff did their homework in the rebounding of Letran, how they can easily get those offensive rebounds. You bring in now your rebounders to make sure and secure that defensive rebound to have this last possession.
Many championships, collegiate basketball for Coach France Pomare. Championships as a player. That's going to come at a very important role for Adamson as they try to hold this 2-point lead. Letran, though, they've been a tough, gritty team all throughout. Can they summon that toughness and come all the way back in this game? Press broken by the Soaring Falcons. Bola na sa kamay ni Jerry Kahanbisi. Goes to his left. Sar, jumper, bang!
And that's just a dagger to the heart of the Letran Knights. Having to play good defense full court and then that jumper, that's quite painful.
Timeout brought to you by Chooks to Go. At sa Manok ng Bayan.
For 14 15 seconds is enough time to make things happen for Letran. You know, they have to give the ball to the right person at this point and have them commit, you know, take a very high percentage shot.
Ambohon drives, short on the layup, put back, finally.
And interesting enough, Coach Franz Bermarin took out Papi Sar in that defensive move.
This game's not over. 8.5 seconds left, and it's just a 2-point ball game. We've seen crazier things happen, and knowing this Letran Knight squad, this is a team with that never quit spirit.
And right now, you're going to ask yourself if it's Adamson's. You know, both teams are in penalty, so you don't want to overly be aggressive in terms of your defense. Just play good defense, make a stop, and hopefully have enough time to convert and force an overtime, or probably win this ball game.
Has to be a safe inbound for Adamson University. Jerome Lastimosa to trigger this play off the sideline. Guarded by Gio Ambol. They get it to Manganti, immediately fouled by Jeric Malanza. Manganti earlier though missed 2 free throws.
And he has a chance to just close this ball game if he makes this 2 free throws.
Manganti misses the first. Gets the second one to trickle in.
Right
that
now,
just makes it a 3-point ball game.
So it forces Letran now to take that 3-point shot, and the question is who is? Calvo made a lot of 3-point shots in this ball game.
Oh, Quinto. Faking, dishing, Calvo, desperation heave.
And that was just a good defense. Good stop by Adamson Falcons there.
And at the end of the day, the basics will always save you one. And it boiled down to defense for Adamson University.
And they're known for that. And Adamson just stayed in the game, making sure that that third quarter run was sustained in the fourth quarter. Coach Franz Bermarin bringing in the guys that can finish for them. And they were able to show a lot of maturity, making sure that that 3 points or 2 points was actually sustained.
Letran actually had to battle back from different deficits at different points. But Adamson University, with that guidance of Coach Franz Bermarin, just able to battle them back as well. And the final score will read 83-80. Sean Manganti showing us that he had some ice in his veins. We'll wrap this thing up when we come back on ESPN 5. Welcome back to ESPN 5, and it's a big victory for the Adamson University Soaring Falcons here in the 12 Filoil Preseason Cup, presented to you by Chooks to Go. My name is James Velasquez, still with Juan Banal. What a win that we just witnessed from Adamson, fending off a hard-fighting Letran Knights.
And it's a system again of Coach Franz Bermarin. The players actually was, interestingly enough, trusted the system, made sure that they stuck to it despite the deficit that they had to catch up, despite the first half that they had to play, scoring just 16 points and 19 points. But the third quarter was a big turnaround for them, scoring 24 points. And again, it's going back to what they know best in trusting the system of Coach Franz.
And it was a 16-3 run at one point to open that quarter. And of course, the best player of the game, the high-flying Sean Manganti. And Sean, first of all, congratulations on this win. I just want to ask you, you guys looked like a different squad starting that third quarter. What did Coach Franz tell you guys to, flip the switch a bit?
Just have some pride, you know. We came out really sluggish and came out really slow, so we try to make the pace ours in the second half.
And you shot 4 out of 5 in the 3 points. You're known for your ability to run the open court, but today you showed another side to you, which probably you have improved this preseason preparations that you have. Tell us more about this new kind of Sean Manganti that we're seeing.
Yeah, I've been really working hard in the summer and right after the season, trying to be an all-around player. I don't want to be a one-dimensional player, so yeah.
Well, Sean Manganti now is a chance to give a shout-out to all the fans of Adamson University, and of course, your family, friends, and loved ones.
Just want to shout out my dad back home. Miss you, love you.
All right, congratulations, Sean the Man. Sean Manganti, our Chooks to Go, Manok ng Bayan player of the game. Hatid sa inyo ng Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang Manok ng Bayan.